Hi everybody, welcome back. I hope you're all doing well. So in today's video,
Treat women like a 10-year-old and they'll love you for it. Don't, for example, talk about politics, economics, all those complicated things. Talk about food, sex, partying, going on vacation. That's the things that women resonate well with. When they argue with you, don't get upset. Would you get upset if you were arguing with a 10-year-old? Of course not, because they are a 10-year-old. So when you get into an argument with a 10-year-old or you get into an argument with a woman, you kind of like, okay, no problem. You blow it off. But when you're dealing with a woman, deal with her as a 10-year-old and you will understand and appreciate your audience much better, and you'll be much more poised in dealing with the said person. Moreover, you will not be disappointed when the person acts out because, of course, she is acting like a 10-year-old.
Yo, Gary won't let me get out of line at Target. I want to just go and look at a few things. And he won't let me leave his side.
Nope. You literally don't have time.
I know we don't have time, but
See?
I've never
Stop
been
there.
to this location.
It's the butt.
But I've never been to this Target
It just
location.
means you get to come back. See it as an opportunity.
But look, y'all, there's like 3 people in line in front of us.
And as soon as I get done checking out, what I don't want to have to do is have to come find you. Because if I leave you, I'll be wrong. If I leave you, I'll be wrong.
I can run around the store so quick by the time.
It won't be quick. You're going to stop and see something and be interested and intrigued and be, honey, big baby. And I'm going to be starting the car, wondering where my wife is. And again, if I leave you, I'm going to be wrong. So we're going to avoid all of that. And now you have an opportunity to come back. You got to view the positives. Be excited for the future. You know?
That is Target.
Yeah. That's why it's exciting.
If a man has a healthy understanding that women are children and you are not in this adversarial back and forth with an adult, you're in this back and forth with a 7-year-old. So imagine you having a daughter and your daughter comes up and says, you broke, you're this and that. You're going to be like, what are you talking about? What do you want? Come here. Why are you so mad? You're literally going to comfort her because you mad about something. You're not mad at me. What's really bothering you? And you're actually going to comfort her. The same thing with your lady. When she starts talking all kinds of crazy stuff or whatever, she's not mad at you. You triggered her and she's now in regression and she's literally talking to her mother or her father. And she's a 7-year-old child in regression. So all she really wants is for you to be like, you know what? Come here. What's going on? Talk to me. She doesn't want to argue. She wants attention. She wants to be heard. She wants to feel safe.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of people say something in the lines of, I hope I'm getting it correct. They say that you can tell a man is a good man when the woman around her acts like a child. And you can tell a man is a child when the woman around him acts like his mother. Okay? But this brings us to the broader topic of men infantilizing women. Okay? Because imagine having a husband, you going shopping, right? You get to check out, you forgot something or you've seen something you like, right? And you want to quickly go and get it. And he's like, no, don't do it. Because you are in public, you don't want to come across as not being submissive or emasculating him. You have to go with the flow, right? And this is an example of how men infantilize women, okay? Because it's not necessarily you wanting her to follow your lead. It's control, okay? You are not emotionally there yourself, okay? Because to be honest, to me, if I was with a man, I'm going shopping. I'm going to get what I want to get. And he's like, no, because we are in the queue, you can't go. Because I'm the man of the house. Why do you want to be the man of the house so much? Like, we are both adults. I'm not a child. Okay? I'm not a child. I'm allowed to get what I want to get. Because, to be honest, if roles were reversed and you forgot something or you saw something that you like, you would go and get it. So why can't I? Okay? And to be honest, I don't blame the women who behave like that because society has made them believe that this is how a woman is supposed to act around a man, okay? There was this trend a few months ago, about how women were talking about how their men allowed them to turn their brains off when they love it, okay? Because it makes them feel feminine, okay? So I don't know. To be honest, I get it. I get why some of these women like it, but I don't think this type of arrangement where you are supposed to act like a child around a man, you can't get what you want if you want it. So the other guy who said that, a healthy understanding. I'm like, how is that healthy? That understanding doesn't even make sense to me. How is that healthy to you? That you treat a woman like a child? Does it even make sense that you are treating a woman like a child? Is that healthy in your mind? It doesn't make sense to me. And the first guy who was talking about, don't talk to her about politics and things like that, but you talk to a 10-year-old about what? Smecks and partying? Seriously, I don't know. To be honest, every single day, sometimes they confuse me, because to be honest, it's like they say one thing and it's like my brain is scrambled. I don't even know what to make of it. Okay, so what do men really want? Do they want women to act like children? Is that what this is all about? And then they turn around and blame women for behaving like that. But anyway, let's get into what people had to say.
If a man has a healthy understanding that women are children and you are not in this adversarial back.
I see this literally all the time, where men will be like, oh, women are so childlike. And without fail, the man in question who says that is always dating and hanging around girls who are like at max 25, like as close to the legal limit as he can get. And then he'll just extrapolate those experiences to all women. But it's like, if you would just hang out with a 45-year-old who is similar in age to you, you would understand that, like, of course she possesses the exact same mental capabilities as you do. If you didn't just date college sophomores, maybe you'd have a higher opinion of the capabilities of women. This is the same thing as men who say that, like, oh, women are so materialistic, they only go for guys who have money. But like, the guy in question has a personality that is so abysmal that literally, of course, women around you are seeking compensation for being in your presence. I promise you, it's a you problem.
You know, something I've never understood is men who say that, oh, like, I don't like women. They act like little kids. Like, they can never take accountability. But when you actually pay attention to men and the way they respond to you, men love when you act like a child. Men love when you, like, whine a little bit, when your voice is a little high pitched, and you ask them to do stuff for you. You're like, oh my God, I'm damsel in distress. Oh, please help me. Please help me. They run to your rescue every single time. They love it. They eat it up. They respond so well to that. And you're going to tell me that grown adult men who want these partners like this actually truly covet an equal partnership. No, they just want a child. It's so weird. Ew.
I'm sick of it. I am sick of men getting upset at the exact same systems that they created. I'm sick of y'all getting upset at the exact same systems that you created. I just came across this creator who was reading a Twitter post about women and just laughing. Long story short, it's something along the lines of, when you realize women or girls are just girls, you no longer get mad. It's like getting mad at a toddler. They're basically toddlers. And everyone in the comments, the guys are like, when you realize women are children, you can't get mad at them. They're toddlers. They behave like children. You did that. You set that system up. You set up the infantilization of women and young girls for your benefit, for your control, to feel like big men. Oh, I can't reach for the thing in the dresser, baby. Oh, I'm such a baby. I don't know how to change a light bulb. Oh my God, baby. You did that. You conditioned women to think that behaving like a child is the only way for them to get and keep a man. To get and keep a man. Look at the corn industry, for example. What are they constantly pushing out? Their number one sellers are barely legal. Schoolgirl stuff. Cosplaying as children. You did this. You did this to yourself. And God forbid a woman actually be independent. Let her know how to change her own light bulb. Let her know how to change a tire. Let her know how to grab a freaking ladder and actually get the thing at the top of the dresser or the top of the cabinet. And what do you call her? Independent women. She'll never get a man. Look at her. She thinks she's all that. She's the one who wants control. She might as well be the man in the relationship. You did this. You did this. And my very last point, if women are such toddlers and children as you say so, maybe we shouldn't be participating in any financial contributions within the relationship because I'm just a wiggle baby.
Let's talk about how women infantilize themselves, but also the role that society plays in that happening, more specifically, the patriarchy. I'm sure we've all seen some form of this before, whether it's a woman using like a baby voice or being really over sexualized, but also having a babyish sort of aesthetic or a babyish sort of voice to accompany that over sexualized image. Or women acting like they're incompetent around men and saying that they turn off their brains when they're with their boyfriends, or just acting like naive and everything. On the surface, you could say that this is just pick-me women trying to get male attention or whatever, but why does that get them male attention? Why do men also enjoy this behavior? Not all of them, but some do, a lot do. So we kind of have to view how we sexualize youth in society, where women get praised for looking younger than they are. That doesn't really happen as much with men. How women get shamed for aging, while men are usually like they age better or they get better with age or whatever. The obsession that society has with purity and virginity and tying a woman's sexual desires to her level of innocence. The way terms like barely legal and jailbait exist. The popularization of calling men daddy and sexualizing those types of dynamics. Stars like Britney Spears, Marilyn Monroe, having those and Paris Hilton having those baby voices and still being deemed as very sexy. This all comes together to enforce the idea that the most desirable women are young and inexperienced. Sexy schoolgirl, an innocent but hot trope in movies and TV shows. Men are conditioned to like women like this, and women are conditioned to behave like this because a woman that is naive, soft-spoken, doesn't stand up for herself, and things like that is going to be more attractive to someone who benefits from women's subjugation. They don't want a woman that is speaking in an assertive voice, that is competent on her own, that can do all those things, that is not resembling a child in some capacity, whether it's because she's hairless, whether she looks sort of like a child. People love that. Men love that. And this behavior from women doesn't come from nothing. It comes from patriarchal conditioning, like so many other things. This isn't just about having a preference or wanting a woman that you can lead. It's about a sort of conditioning that hurts women and benefits men. Men are not children. We do not need to be dependent of men. We do not need to make ourselves smaller, quieter, etc. in order to be desirable. And anyone that thinks otherwise has some serious issues that they need to work through, including misogyny and pedophilic tendencies, which tends to be a bigger issue with men that watch porn, because that shit is full of pedophilic undertones, and sometimes it's very overt. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comments. If you have anything to add, if you have any experiences, just let me know.
That white woman who's going viral for explaining that her version of princess treatment when she's with her husband is that when they go out, she doesn't touch anything, she doesn't look at the waitstaff, she doesn't talk to them, he does everything. That is a perfect example of the direction that this country is moving into, and I don't mean that in a good way. It started off with the oh, get you a man you can turn your brain off when you're with him, and get you a man who will make all the decisions for you, and let's go back to being stay-at-home moms, let's go back to being a stay-at-home wife, or oh, I'm just a girl. All those things seem very insignificant when they're happening. But as we all know, as far as culture and large-scale shifts go, things start small and then the pendulum starts swinging. And right now our pendulum is swinging into a very conservative direction. We about to end up right back where we were in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. And this time we're asking for it. Now everybody wants someone who can make all the decisions for them, and you don't want to think about him. You want him to have all the money, and you don't want to have to work, and all that is fine, and it's understandable, and it would be cool if it ended there. But it doesn't end there. That's how it starts. The whole oh, women being seen and not being heard, and you just show up and look cute and everything just happens around you and you just sit there, would be cute if that was it. If that's where it ended, then it would be fine. But that's not how things go. There's nothing cute about not making your own decisions. There's nothing cute about giving up your autonomy piece by piece by piece. There's nothing cute about that. And again, all these things sound very insignificant when they're happening, because of course we all want a man who's going to provide, and we want someone who can take care of us, and that is good and that's understandable. But it's getting to a point. That's all I'm going to say. It's getting to a point.
That women are children and you are not.
There's no healthy understanding that women are children. I don't even understand why you came up with this thought process. I don't think it's doing what he thinks it's doing as an adult. First of all, since we're talking logically here, is it logical for a man to date, enter into a relationship, or to marry a woman that he believes is a child? Not only that, it reveals this. Instead of dating somebody that is an adult, you're attempting to convince people how to deal with people from a childish perspective, as if they are a child. Which also shows your preferences. You're attempting to date somebody that is, in your mind, a child. Now, does that not sound like pedophilistic behavior or something mentally wrong with the individual? Now, in advanced men that take advice from men like this, it shows more about what you're willing to accept and what you're willing to do in place of actually dealing with actual adults. Most men that also say women are like children avoid the women that are adults because they can't handle it. They can't handle an educated woman. They can't handle a self-sufficient woman. They can't handle a woman that is on her square because she is capable of picking up on all of the manipulative tendencies and all of the small issues that they would have with a man that acts like a child for himself. Because the thought process must be, if you believe that this is a child, in some ways you must believe that you are still a child. The thought process is just all screwed up. So for men that believe women are like children, again, it's revealing your preference in the women that you date and that you interact with daily inside of your life. And it's showing that your selection process cannot gain the attention of average woman that's an adult. And instead of trying to teach people how to cope with women that in your mind are like children, maybe learn how to deal and to have relationships with and to surround yourself with the women that are adults. Then your life might actually be different and you'll view things differently because the chances are it has, like this issue doesn't have anything to do with the women. It has 100% to do with the man that believes that women are children.
All right, let's hear it. You're telling us that you've not reached adult emotional maturity and you justify this with gender roles. It's diabolical to want your partner to treat you the way that your dad treated you. Children have small responsibilities, adults have big responsibilities. You can find a man that's willing to participate in this arrangement, but it's not going to be healthy. As a man of integrity, there's almost nothing less attractive than this. You have the emotional aptitude of a child, so there's no way I would trust you to raise children. This kind of arrangement is going to result in ugly dynamics. You're not going to have full autonomy. He is going to treat you like a child. You make yourself easily replaceable when you're in this kind of situation. I guarantee that he loses respect for you over time, and you lose respect for yourself. This is a form of emotional regression, and I want people to understand that dignity and equity are more important than luxury.
Now, I heard this so much, though, because she's very emotional. Everybody have emotion. That's energy. But she's highly emotional. So I was telling this guy, if you want to keep your relationship, you have to look at it. You got two sides to this story now. Whether you want to keep your relationship or you want to try to get out of your relationship. If you want to keep your relationship, come here. If you want to keep your relationship, ladies, don't get mad at me. But you're going to have to treat your woman like a child emotionally. Yes, she can go out there and get money. Yes, she can go get an education. Yes, she can do all these things. She can pay bills, all that. Yes, but emotionally, she's a child. She's a child. Do not try to treat her like an adult emotionally. Do not expect her to take accountability. Do not expect her to say sorry when she knows she's wrong. Do not expect her to be an adult, a grown person. If you want to keep your relationship. Now, if you want to challenge your relationship, have strife in your relationship, have issues in your relationship, treat her like an adult. Do it. Do it. Treat her like an adult if you want to. Expect her to be an adult. Expect her to say sorry when she knows she's wrong. Expect her to take accountability for her action. And I guarantee you one thing, sir, you will be divorced. You will lose your relationship. You will lose your relationship because emotionally, she is a child. She is not an adult. And I'm not talking about all women. There are some women out there emotionally, they're accountable for their action. They have emotional intelligence. They have all the above.
But that's not all women. That's not the majority of women. You're God. Let me tell you something. You was given that emotion for a reason. The nurturer. You feel sorry for the child and things like, oh, my baby. The men don't do that, especially for our boys. And for men, you know how we treat our boys? We rough with our boys. The women, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's how we are. We know that this life in this world is going to be rough with our kids. So we really rough with our boys. Our women are more nurturers. So they're given this emotion that they're hyper emotional. And that's just how they're made. It's not nothing wrong with it. It's just that there has to be a discernment of when you're about to become into one group, into one person. When you want to be in a covenant, you have to be on the same page, and you have to get to the point where you become an adult emotionally, and they're not adults emotionally. I'm sorry, ladies. It's the truth. And I'm not saying all of you guys are like this. It's just, this is something that you was given. You have a superpower, but learn how to take accountability for your actions. But fellas, if you want to keep your relationship, treat her like a child emotionally. You're welcome.
Yeah, but to be honest, I get what he's saying. You have to treat your woman like a child emotionally. But I think the same goes with men. Because the thing is, if you don't submit to a man's rule, like for instance, the second lady in the first 3 clips who had to submit to him in front of people because she didn't want to come across. Because that's what is happening there. Okay? She didn't want to come across as, not submissive or not listen or not following the lead of her husband. I think she is treating him like a child. Okay? She's tiptoeing around his feelings and his emotions. Okay? All under the guise of being submissive and following the lead of your man. So if that's the case, then that means that it goes both ways. Okay? It goes both ways. Everybody has to respect each other's emotions. Okay? And that's when emotional intelligence comes in. That's what people usually like to call, they want a man who is emotionally intelligent. That's what we mean. Okay? Because that's where emotions come in. Okay? That doesn't necessarily mean you have to treat her like a child. It's you understanding what is happening and you not exerting your manhood over her, because you will feel emasculated. You want to feel like the man and the head of the house so much, her wants and needs goes in the background. That's the conversation that we keep having that a lot of these men don't understand. Okay. So when women scream about they want a man that is emotionally intelligent, that's what they mean. It's not necessarily you treating a woman like a child emotionally. It's you understanding her emotions. And you being able to let your supposed masculinity rest and allow her to be herself. Not necessarily you wanting to come across as this alpha masculine man in public. So when your wife says, oh, I forgot this, I need to go and get it. Instead of you saying, oh, go quickly and get it. If you come and we are done, I'll wait for you. Simple. What's wrong with that? But you have to exert your masculinity in public. You have to let everybody see that your wife is a child and you are putting her in a place. Like, what the? I don't understand that mindset. I don't get it. Okay? So for me personally, to the women who enjoy it, that's fine. To each his own. If you like it, I like it for you. If that's how you want to be treated, that's fine. I can't tell you to, change your mind. But I want you to understand that they can push it all the way there. It will start little, but it will get all, like he said, towards the end of his video. It gets all the way there. So be careful of some of these dynamics. I get it when from time to time your husband is pampering you and, maybe booking the trip without you having to do the work, maybe planning a date and so on and so forth, paying the bills, just allowing you to not stress and worry about those things. Yes, it's okay. Okay. But when it goes from now you can't go to the shop to get whatever you want because you are in a queue and he wants to become a man in front of everybody, or his masculinity is more important than your wants and your needs, then that's when we have a problem. I think there can be a healthy balance in all of this. Okay. Let's just treat your partners, like they are adults. How about that? Like, treat them like they are adults. If you are planning a date, it doesn't make your wife a child. It's just you taking initiative and, being a healthy husband or boyfriend. If this is the kind of dynamics you want, that's up to you. For me personally, I won't understand it. If you expect me to treat you like an adult, I would expect you to treat me like an adult, okay? But if you're saying, oh, that's the only way you can approach me because I'm a woman, then me too, I'll approach you like that because you're a man. Because I've seen so many men, doing all sort of things just because they are angry, just because, things didn't go their way, women didn't treat them the way, then they'll start cheating, they will start doing all sort of things. My wife doesn't treat me like a kid in the house, so I'm cheating. Like, it's so dumb. You understand? Oh, my wife is not seeing me like this, so I'm going to cheat. So to be honest, I think it goes both ways. All right. And to find a healthy balance for your relationship, that is what matters, okay? But if you find a man like this who wants to be man of the house, head of the house everywhere, you can't go. You have to sit when I say sit. You have to stand when I say, hey, I'm the man of the house. I have to eat first before everybody eats. I have to go to bed first. Like when I say open your leg, open your leg. That's all I'm going to say. But anyway, I'm going to leave it here. You leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments. And I'll see you again in another video. Take care of yourselves and one another. Bye.